Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga, that is Yoga of Action, verse 32. Before getting into verse 32, we should see verse 30 and 31. In verse 30, Krishna said, Hey Arjuna, surrender all your actions to me, wholeheartedly. Don't have any doubt. Surrender your actions to me. Do not worry about the past. Whatever mistakes you have committed, never worry about the past. Past is gone, dead and gone. Do not worry about the future while doing your work. Don't be anxious. Future is always uncertain. Nobody knows what will come in future, what is in store. Nobody knows. So do not worry about the future. Concentrate on the present work in your hand. Completely. Never worry about the past, never worry about the future. Concentrate on the present work. If you do that, 100% success is assured in any field. This is the secret for success. Krishna said in verse 30. Verse 31, he said, a person should follow this sincerely without criticizing the teacher or his teaching, that is Lord Krishna, or the teaching, the whatever secrets of success he has said for the Karma Yoga. This you must follow Nityam in all works, constantly, every day, moment to moment, you have to practice this. If anybody practices this, then he will attain the highest. 100%, if you take it in a literal sense, highly success, because the work you do in the present, naturally the result will follow. It is a cause, effect is a result. If you do perfect work, you will achieve success. Even that way you can take it. Another way, if you do your work well, then there is 100% concentration. It is the first stage for meditation. The moment when you start meditating like this, naturally, in course of time, you will realize the self. This is what Lord Krishna said in verse 31. Before going into verse 32, this is a common thing in every family. A 12th student is there in the house, in the home. The dad used to say, Arey yaar, you must read well. Then the son will ask, if I read well, what will happen? Then he will say, no, if you read well, then you will get a good job. AC room, office room, good car, very good house, good food to eat. Everything will be available. You will enjoy the comforts of life. Then naturally, being a 12th standard boy, he will ask, what if I don't do? If I don't study well, what will happen? Then the father will say, Arey, if you don't study well, then I will buy 2 buffaloes for you. Then you have to graze them. You have to milk those buffaloes. The cow dung, the buffalo's dung will be there. You have to clean that. You have to make it into cakes for the oven. And then you may have to give bath, etc. Early morning, 4 o'clock, you have to go and milk the cow. So all these things will happen. You will suffer a lot. Nowadays, my personal view is, Paramacharya of Kanchi used to say, the education must give you character. The present education system is characterless education. You take anybody, IAS officer, judges, politicians, police, or anywhere you take, everywhere there is corruption. Because character is not there. The education has not given the character. Whereas uneducated fellow remains with character. So the point is, the negative aspects also will be said by the father. Positively, if you study well, what will happen? If you don't study well, what will happen? Similarly, Krishna also says in verse 32, if you don't follow this, what will happen? Verse 32. Ye tve tadapyasu yantaha nanu titta me madam sarvajnana vimudamstan vitti nattana chetasaha. Krishna beautifully says, Yetve tadapyasuyantaha. Apyasuyantaha. We have already seen what is asuya, what is anasuya, and what is now he is saying apyasuyantaha. Apyasuyantaha means person criticizing pointlessly. He will not even try to understand. What is there? And this all we don't know. We know. And then why don't you practice it? We will see. It's all. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time on all these things. He will say. The person who has not even tried to understand, he will say, what Krishna? What is there in Krishna? All these are, I know about him. He did Rasalila. Something he will say. Just for the sake of criticizing. Abhyasuyantaha. That is a person who pointlessly criticizes. Na anutishtanti, na anutishtanti. He will not follow. The person who criticizes pointlessly and he will not follow. Me matam, my opinion, sarvajnana vimudamstan. Sarvajnana vimuda. Sarvajnana. We have already seen Muda and Vimuda. Muda is idiot. Vimuda is filtered idiot. Krishna calls this fellow as Sarvajnana Vimuda. That means he is an idiot in all fields. He is a complete filtered idiot in all fields. Why? You take what Krishna said. Krishna said, Areya, don't worry about the past. Whoever you are, whichever religion you belong, whichever country you belong, whichever job you are doing, do not worry about the past. Do not worry about the future. Don't be anxious about the results. Do the work in your hand properly, sincerely, with full 100% concentration. If a fellow is not following this, and he pointlessly criticizes Krishna, then he will do one job. He will think about the past. That time I did that job, I completely failed. So how this will come? It will also be a failure. So he will not concentrate. Otherwise he will think about the future. If I do this, whether this will come or not, I don't know. Maybe the entire effort will be a waste. So he will think about that. Or he will be thinking about something else. Hundreds of thoughts. Naturally, we all have hundreds of thoughts. It is not that everybody has got concentrate 100% in his work. It is very, very rarity. Even if you are able to concentrate 50%, that is the greatest achievement according to me. So, this person is not able to concentrate. His mind is clouded by several thoughts and he is not concentrating on the present work. He will be a failure. He will take one job, he will be a failure. He will go to another job. There also he will be a failure. Third job, again he will be a failure. Then he will say, no, my school is, I studied in a bad school. That is why I am not successful. My parents are not good. They have not put me in a good school. Then my teachers, they are all idiots. They have not taught me properly. He will criticize the teachers. My friends, he will criticize the friends. I did not have good friends. That is why they were disturbing me unnecessarily. Then he will say that day current was not there. Then he will blame the God. Then he will see the Rashi, etc. In the newspapers. Then he will say, no, according to my Rashi, it is not going to work well. Next 7.5 years I will suffer. This is what the paper says. Some nonsense he will be saying for not doing the present work in his act well. He is not appreciating that he is not doing the work on hand well. That is why he is a complete failure in all the fields. That is why Krishna calls that fellow Sarvajnana Vimuda. Sarvajnana Vimuda. In all fields he is a complete failure, complete unsuccessful person, idiot, not able to appreciate that the reason for his failures are not other things but his own his own approach or attitude towards the work. This is what Lord Krishna says. Then, Vittinattana Chetasaha, you know, he has lost his discriminative intellect. He says, completely, what is the difference between an animal and a human being? Animals, they have their intellect. It is not that animals do not have intellect. I don't agree or buy that argument that animals do not have intellect. Each animal has got certain intellect. It has its own limited intellect. Man has also got a limited intellect. But man has a discriminative intellect. That is the difference between an animal and a man. That is why man is able to capture all the animals, imprison them, put them in a cage, etc. He is able to do it. Animals, they don't know. They will, if they want to eat, they will attack, they will kill. They will roam around. They will do whatever they like a dog. If it wants to bark in the middle of a meeting, it will bark and go. Whereas a human being, because of his discriminative intellect, he decides each and every action according to the situation. If that discriminative intellect is gone, then that fellow is nothing but an animal. Krishna says he has lost his discriminative intellect. We have already seen a long time back the human birth is durlabha. That is, you won't get it. This is the law, your best chance to use your discriminative intellect. And if you are not going to use your intellect and going to behave like a two-legged animal, then what can be said about you? This is what Lord Krishna says. Again, we will see. That means what Lord Krishna is saying in this verse is that a person who pointlessly criticizes and who do not follow this is a sarva jnana vimuda. It's completely in all the fields. He's a filtered idiot. And he says his discriminative intellect, which is given to the human beings, the best one that is available to human beings is lost. This is what Lord Krishna is saying in this verse. Again, the verse. Ye tve tadapyasuyantaha nanutittanti me madam sarvajnana vimudamstan vittinattana chetasaga. Next verse we will see tomorrow. Hari Om. Sarvam Krishnarpanastu. Narayana 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 Narayana